Hello again, GameStop. I'm back with yet another idea for you to turn your company right around and start hitting that $100 a share stock price that you guys should easily be at. Today's idea takes a lot of effort. I'd say a little bit of effort, but no, it's gonna take a lot of effort. But anybody and anything, business or whatever, that ends up becoming successful gets successful with a lot of hustling. So, this is something, what I'm going to say is something that you guys should have already been doing anyways. You've been in business for 40 years. I mean, you're bragging about it on your website right now. Oh, it's our 40th anniversary, 1984 to now. Which, as a side note, one, congratulations, but two, I didn't realize you guys were around for so long. I mean, what was around in 1984? Atari? You guys were selling Atari? But anyways, my suggestion is this. You need to get exclusives. Now, I don't mean exclusives like this. Like, I'm pretty sure this game, Gas Guzzlers Extreme, that came out on Switch. I don't know if it was multi-console or just Switch. I know it's available on Switch. I've seen it on Switch. I've thought about buying it. Because it seems like it's like a Twisted Metal type knockoff. But I'm not talking about games like this. This game is... Who's talking about? Who do you hear around the streets? Oh, man, have you played Gas Guzzlers Extreme? Oh, it's sick. Oh, hey, do you have Gas Guzzlers Extreme? We should play online later. Like, nobody's talking about this. This is a random game. And you also have a bunch of other random games that are just kind of like, they're almost like indie hits, if you will. I think Has Been Heroes. Isn't that a exclusive to you guys as well? And then you got a few others that are kind of like cutesy. What I mean by cutesy is like Katamari Democracy, whatever the heck that game's called. That's not an exclusive. I'm just saying they're like that. Like, that's what I mean by cutesy, a game like that. It's like rated E, and it's just, So anyways, when I say get exclusives, I mean you guys need to get like big titles that are exclusively sold at your store. I know that can be difficult, especially for the perspective of the publishers, because obviously they want their game to be available on a wide market. They're going to want it on Steam and all these other digital platforms, as well as in Walmart's, Targets, Best Buys, etc. They don't want to just focus on GameStop. But you guys are the video game, you're like the only solely video game focused company out there. So if anybody can pull this off, it would be you guys. So, I think that you can talk to these places and break a deal that, some kind of a hot game is only available at GameStop. If it's hot enough, it'll work and it'll be fantastic for you. And these companies will still make their money. It's just everyone, instead of going to Walmart or wherever else they go, will just be funneling into your stores, which is fantastic for you. Now you're getting lots of people in store. They're looking around at stuff. They're seeing things while they're standing in line waiting. Ooh, that looks cool. I'm going to go check that out. Ooh, I want to buy that. And then all of a sudden, now they become a repeat customer. Boom. And that's what you want. Now, when I say big games, too, I mean, like, big games. Like, maybe try to get a deal with, like, the Pokemon company so that the Pokemon games are only released in GameStops or something. I mean, that might be way too big, but, like, that's what I'm talking about. You need to get big games that sell very well and try to break a deal. Another one I'm thinking is, like, Call of Duties. Those are always hot. They always do very well. Maybe you can work with, who's doing it now? Treyarch, Activision? I don't know. Those are the companies that I knew used to be doing it. But work with them, and maybe you can come up with a deal that next time a COD comes out, it's only at GameStop. Even if it's a temporary thing, say it's available only at GameStop for like the first month of release, that still gives, there's tons of people that are going to want it day one, so that's a ton of people that are going to have to go to you. Yeah, you'll get some people like me, the scragglers, that wait a year before they buy the game anyway, and then I'll get it at Walmart or something instead because I know it'll be cheaper. But there's still going to be a lot of people that are going to want that game, and for that first month, you're their only option. So either they got to wait a month and then be behind, or they got to suck it up and go to you, or digitally go to you, because you're the only option. I think that, this is a big idea for you. I don't know how you guys don't have this already either. That's kind of crazy, considering, 40 years in business. This should have been like a day 5 thing. Year 5, this is something that you worked on. But yeah, no more of these goofy exclusives that nobody buys anyways. These aren't making you money. I mean, it's a fake publisher. What is it, GS2 Games? Come on. You need to get, like, EA. Or, like I said, the Pokemon Company. Or what else is huge? Ubisoft. I know people hate on Ubi, but they're still big. Alternatively, I wanted to make this a separate video, but I don't have enough to say for this one. So another one I think you should try to do is maybe make your own studio. I don't know. You could have your own studio. Maybe this is your studio. GS2 Games? Maybe that's what that means. GameStop. I don't know. I could be an idiot. I've never actually looked into it. It's just an idea that I've had bopping around recently. But yeah, you totally should make your own video games. I mean, hello, you're a video game store, video game franchise, video game retailer. It only makes sense that you would have your own video game company. And as long as you can produce decent enough games and not go under like Kurt Schilling's video game company did, what was it called? I want to say 989, but that's actually a thing. But what was it? I don't know. He had something that he was ahead of because he was the keynote speaker when I graduated college, and he was talking about his business then. But then I heard a couple years later that it went out of business. It failed. So, but I think that's because their games took forever to develop. They didn't have good talent. They didn't have good marketing. You guys are GameStop. You can hire the best talent. You can hire the best marketers. You can make the best ads. You can make fantastic games. So even if this is your company, I'll have to look into that. But, do better than this. Like, yeah, I hear it's okay. I think it's got decent enough reviews. It's like a 70 on Metacritic or something, which ain't too bad. But do better than that. Make it so that you are kind of becoming a solid name in gaming. Kind of like A24 for movies. They're a newer, whatever you call that, publisher or something, I don't know, for movies, but their movies are actually pretty good. So they're coming up quickly, competing with 21st Century and all that. Or even OG Games. When that company first started, it was all goofy, dumb, stupid games, but recently they've been putting out some pretty decent stuff. OG Games is starting to become a name that I trust, let's say. So yeah, if this is you, make GS2 games better, because if this is your brand, there are a lot of games that you have on there. I see it pretty often, but they usually suck. I don't think I own a single GS2 game because they're not good. I don't care. This is the only one that seemed slightly interesting, and I've been wanting to get it, but the price sucks. It's always like $30 used, and I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for some weird fake brand knockoff, Twisted Metal that only has a 70 on Metacritic. Like, maybe if it had like a 95, I'd be like, holy crap, this must be a really good game. I guess I'll pay the $30. But this should be $10. I mean, come on. And that's the other thing too. If you do develop and publish your own games, don't try to charge top dollar like every other company does. This would be your own game. Everything's under one roof. Like, you're in full control of it, so you can control the prices. So like, your game should easily be able to be cheaper from day one. $30 should be your launch price instead of 60 like everyone else does, because you don't have distributors and stuff. You don't have publishers, developers, etc. It's all you. It's like at my company. We do as much in-house as we can because it saves lots of money for us, which in turn we can put that onto our customers, so they get massive savings because we design the products in-house, we manufacture them in-house, we decorate them in-house. The only thing we don't do is we don't fill them. Like, we make containers. We don't fill the containers, so they have to go to the customer so the customer can fill them and package them. We don't do packaging. The customer has to supply their own packaging. But that's kind of a given. I mean, why would we be supplying a customer's package? But otherwise, everything's at us. So you come to us, it's a one-stop shop. The only thing we don't have is we don't have a chrome plater, which is something that we've been talking about. We should try to get that, revamp one of our buildings to get that internally, so that that's one less thing that we have to outsource. Now we have a guy. We could have a guy and be like, here you go, this is our priority, do this, do this, do this, and it's under our control. Like right now, I got to try to work with our player. Hey, you think you can speed that up any? But it's at his mercy. If he's like, no, I'm busy, then what are you going to do? But if he's your employee, then it's like, no, I'm telling you to do this. Forget what you're doing now and do that. Point is if you have your own video game company, you're saving tons on development costs and everything. It's all under your umbrella of GameStop. So yeah, you should be able to, one, make great games, and two, be able to sell them for very good prices. So yeah, that's my suggestion for today. Either A, work on getting exclusives, getting good exclusives, not stupid crap, get good exclusives. That way then you're forcing people to come to your stores or go to your website or whatever, as a way to get their product. And then while they're there, they might see other things. You go to the website, you might see, oh, what was that cool thing that just popped up? Oh, that's interesting. Boom, now you got 2 sales. Or B, and make your own video game company. Now, if this is your own video game company, my bad. I should have looked into it first. But make better stuff. This company only makes crappy games. Who's buying them? If I'm not buying them, I don't know who is, because I'm an idiot and I buy everything. My collection is massive because I'm more of a collector than a gamer, and that's just what I do. So if I'm not buying your crap, you got to make it